And I'm super excited. And I want to congratulate all of you who have been putting in the work, putting in the work, putting in the work. Well done. Well done. Okay. Well done. On day 6, we want to look at types of sales, right? So what are the different types of sales? Because a lot of times you might need to change the type of sales, or you might need to mix it so that you are trying different mix. So we have B2C, that's a business to customer. So you are the business, and then you are marketing to a customer, directly to customer, retail. Just one individual, just one customer that's trying to buy from you. And I very sure in the last 5 days, most of the conversation has been around B2C. Look for individual customers, trying to talk to them. And it's some of the easiest, cheapest, basic type of marketing, type of sales. And I mean, it always works. Direct marketing, knocking at the door, one call at a time, one client at a time, very effective. Okay, but we look at number 2, which is the B2B. B2B is the business to business. And basically you're saying to yourself, I am a business, I'm selling land, but how do I get companies to then buy land for their staff? Do you see? So in this case, you're looking at cooperative societies. You're looking at, you're looking at clubs. You're looking at association. You're looking at golf club. You're looking at different clubs, right? How do I talk to groups? It could be religious institutions. So instead of just doing one-to-one, I want to do one-to-many, right? And it just has a powerful effect in amplifying what you're doing. At some point, you're good with just me, one customer, me and one customer. But at some point, you have to wake up and say, hey, our business need to begin to do. I'll give a very powerful example of that I realized. And it's very powerful because many times, a lot of us who are young entrepreneurs or just general human beings, we see stories of entrepreneurs and we hate them. Say, oh, is it not government contract that Lico used to be great? And we fail to realize that even in other climb, nobody really got to where they are by just B2C, business to customer. Bill Gates, does more softwares for other companies, than even makes more money by doing B2B than he's doing B2C. Elon Musk makes more money by doing B2B than B2C. The money is in doing business with, other businesses who are able to buy bulk from you, right? And you have to figure out a way to really begin to do that. You might want to begin to look for database of CEOs, database of HR managers, database of business owner in certain sectors. So for example, I always say this, who are really, really your competitors as a realtor? Are they other realtors? Okay. I mean, who are your competitors? And I tell people, you'll be shocked that your competitor is not another realtor. Your competitor is a car agent. Your real and true competitor is who, okay, people are spending their money with when they are not spending with you. Who else? And in many cases, it's either people are buying cars, or they're buying land, or they're buying house. Okay? And many times, you and I will agree, people prioritize owning cars than they prioritize owning land or house. Right? So sometimes you then want to say, can I partner with car dealers? You see what I'm saying now? To say, people who already bought cars, can we then reach out to them? They already could afford something almost the equivalent of a land or equivalent of a house. right? Can I start talking to such people to then inspire them, okay, to buy property from me? But that's if you're thinking B2B, B2C. But if you're thinking B2B, what are you thinking? Can I go to where they are doing association of car dealers? And then I'm talking to them to say, can I partner with you for us to sell houses and land? And on every customer you give me, if they do business, 5% is yours. I get 10%. I'm splitting my commission with you. I don't know if you agree with me that you will probably get more larger number of car dealers working with you. Now, the funny thing would be that each car dealer will most likely give you more than one businesses, right? And then you still have also larger number of other car dealers. And so this just help to exponentially grow your business in an exceptionally humbling way. So think of B2B. The third type of sales is B2G, business to government. I've been reluctant with this, but I know that at some point I have no choice. If I really want to scale my business, I have to do. For example, by doing real estate governor means that I can afford to have the state governor give me 5,000 hectares of land, 10,000 hectares of land, and we can really scale. I mean, in a very, very huge way. Okay. And this is really, and that's why, again, just like I mentioned, from Bill Gates to Mark Zuckerberg to Jeff Bezos to Elon Musk, all of these guys are doing business with government. And that's why whoever wins White House, you see them go take pictures with him. This is about survival instinct. This is about their business because they make more money, most of them, servicing governments, servicing nations, being contractors to nations than anybody else. For example, people don't know that even the CIA and so many government officials still use Jeff Bezos' W whatever server, okay, for what they do, right? So the cloud computing business of Jeff Bezos supplies top government parastatals. And so for you to think that he will be fighting a government is not even wisdom on his part because he can't even lose some businesses. So that's why most times a lot of business people don't always want to fight government because technically some government agencies are their clients. And if you're going to scale business to a level, you really have to think B2G, business to government. And so, what will be my advice today, and what will be my assignment to you today? I'm giving you a good new assignment. I need you to, number one, get up a database of CEOs, email database, phone number database, and start reaching out. Database of HR managers, because sometimes the HR managers help, particularly in the area of real estate, right? They have cooperatives, so database of cooperative presidents and secretaries. Get those databases and start reaching out to them. Okay. Also, I want you to get database of government agencies, permanent secretaries, directors. What do they call them? ZMDs of agencies, MDAs, right? Whatever the title is, right? Get those database and start reaching out. Be polite, be kind. We've shared some of these things in previous days. How you can approach in a very calm way, whether telemarketing, whether it's text messages, whether it's email. You want to get the database and then start reaching out. You also want to leverage on events, right? There are industry events where those who are going to be there are, head of parastatals if you want to do B2G, or those who are going to be there are CEOs. And you go there, you're nice, you dress in a very unique way, and you're taking pictures and you're talking to them, you're collecting contacts, and you're reaching out to them afterwards. You must learn to leverage on events if you want to do B2B and B2G. Go for events. There's a reason why you see a lot of wealthy people attend other wealthy people's parties. They're busy people, so it's not as if they're trying to waste time. Okay, but those meetings, those parties are also networking platforms. They're also marketing platforms. You see each other, you exchange contacts, and hey, and many of us need to learn this, particularly in this part of the world. I say this often that particularly people who are religious, right? Some of us are not, we're not relationally intelligent. And I've noticed that sometimes when pastors and clergy people are talking, because they're generalizing their conversation, it's easy to misunderstand what they're saying. I give an example. I have a pastor who is very vocal about, God is your source and you don't need any man to get breakthroughs and to get success. But hear this. In my years of getting to study him, over 20 years, I realized and I learned that one of the most relationally intelligent human being on planet Earth that I've come close to is by the name Bishop David Oyedepo. Relationally intelligent. So when people like that tell you you don't need man, God is your source, they are not telling you to ignore man. Because it's the day they do birthday, you now see the array of quality people in those meetings, right? And the good things those people say about how he's been friends, he's kept relationship with them, he's been helpful to them in some of their vulnerable season. So we must learn to balance conversations. And I intentionally throw that in, particularly for people of faith, that you must be relationally intelligent. If you're going to do B2B and B2G, you must have relationship etiquettes when you go to parties and meetings. How do you greet? How do you shake hands? Your body language, the way you talk, the way you communicate. Don't look down on people. Sometimes the people who open the door is not even the CEO, is the gate man to the CEO. It's not the CEO, it's the PA to the CEO. I was at a party in New York recently, and I met two governors. They don't know me, but their PA knew me, right? And it was the PA that immediately said, "Oh, sir, this person is so will most likely need him. Can we take picture with him?" They were it was the PA, right? So I've seen people looking for governors and trying to build relationship with governors. Meanwhile, if the governor PA secretaries don't like you, right, you may end up not even seeing the governor, even though he personally met you and booked an appointment with you. So we must learn that. I made a very big mistake, and I can be vulnerable to tell you this, where I was in Dubai one time at Dubai airport, and I met a particular person. He looks like a governor, so I remember walking up to him. I said, "Hey, the governor of so place." He said, "Well, people always say I am." And I said, "What do you do?" I said, "Oh, but I was too much in a hurry. I felt if you're not the governor, well, we don't need to have this conversation." I just walked away because he didn't admit whether it was the governor. Just like people always say. So I'd, just like, "Oh, what do you do?" I mentioned, and I then walked away. I'd even gone to, because there was an elevator, I was going somewhere else, and then turned back only to then see his security man, because he was alone, and that's also why I believe when he said, "Well, people say so," I thought he wasn't the one, because he was all alone. And then by the time I was thinking, I just saw his end, he had the protocol guys. I said, "This is the man," and then we just turned on me that, oh no. But the mistake there, that's why I say it's important to relationship intelligence, learning, training. The mistake there was, even if it wasn't the governor, if I had just continued to have a very polite conversation, yes, I was in a hurry, but hey, if he was the governor, I would have created the time, isn't it? So if I had just taken the time and built that conversation, it would have been great. I tell people this, and don't ever forget this, right? The best time to build relationship with great people is when they are still not yet great. And you will never know how many people are going to rise. So don't discard people. Now, I'm not asking you to then go about wasting your energy with people with low energy, with people who are going nowhere. That's what I'm saying. But don't just don't just have this culture where you look down on people, right? Because that then begin to build a reputation for you to say, this guy always look down on people if he thinks they are not at the high level, right? So build a culture where you understand the way, the politeness, and courtesy is important. Use all the five magical words. Thank you, please, I'm sorry, all right, pardon me, and just use the right words, right? It costs you nothing. I always say this: to prostrate for somebody, today, and then you move on. One day you'll be shocked that the people you prostrated for before are now prostrating for you. It's happened to me in my life. So if somebody's on your way, they are critical to your success, be humble to reach out to them. But if you're going to do B2B and B2G, this is very, very important. So I can give you the assignment, get those database, and then draft a proposal. Okay, and this time around, the way you draft a proposal to an individual is not the way you draft to a business. It's also the way you draft to another core business. So my assignment, also second assignment, is ask in the community group who is experienced in writing proposals. Work with them to write a templated proposal to say, hey, we have landed properties for your cooperative members. We have houses for your people to buy in Dubai. We have property for your people to buy in the US. We have property for people to buy in UK. Some of you know oil companies, HNIs, big companies really that have wealthy employees and they are looking for opportunities for investment. This is it, right? So work with somebody in your group, whether in your team, or you can ask in the larger group till you find someone who can help you with drafting quality proposals. And I'm challenging you to send 50 proposals to businesses and 50 proposals to government parastatals. Again, you have nothing to lose doing all these challenges, guys, right? You have nothing to lose. You will be shocked. Some of you, 1 year later, this will open doors for you. But do it. You have nothing to lose. Just do it. Just make the effort. I always say this: for you to try and fail is better than not trying at all. For you to try and nothing happen is better than not trying at all. Give it all the best and don't give up. Day 6, guy. Come on. Right? Remember, there's a car. Oh, yes, there's a car. So let's make this happen. Let's make this happen. I love you. I'm Dr. Stephen AKINTAYO.